Good evening. Hello everybody, hello Kathy, how we doing? How are we on this fine Saturday? Aside from knackered. I mean, I'm knackered. Well, I'm not totally knackered. I had an afternoon nap. You are feeling quite travelled out. Oof. Oh. It's amazing, isn't it, that a lot of travelling is sitting on your ass, yet it is still tiring. So driving, certainly, because focus, don't want to crash. Airplanes, also, weirdly. I think that trains are the least... Trains are probably the least tiring, but still. Brain never entires, and you were very nervy. Oh. Well, sit back, relax, and let's watch a horrible man fumble his way through new... When Gabe is the horrible man. My background music is a little bit on outside. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's watch an idiotic man fumble his way through a game where a horrible man pervs on everyone. Just sit back and relax. Overtime got cancelled. Man versus man. So I got up at 2 a.m. this morning. We logged on. We got on the call at 3. And at 4:30, at 25 to 5, we were finally like, we can't do this, can we? We're not confident in being able to do this in good time. So we cancelled the work. But easy money, I guess. But I just had to get up at 2 a.m. Time and a half for, what, 3 hours? To essentially do nothing. I actually did... I did joke in the chat afterwards. Because my role was to disable some monitoring integration. So that our 24/7 knock didn't see the alarms that we were going to generate. But we wanted to see the alarms, so I was going to be like a mini knock for it. So I'd already disabled the integration, and then we gave up, so I had to re-enable the integration. And so, as I said in our little group chat, I was like, okay, since I'm the only one who actually did any work here, I get all four of our overtimes, right? Smart. And then somebody else went, oh, well, I'll get our hardware vendor to stand down. There, I've done some work. Right, fine. You and me will get we'll share 4 people's worth of overtime. That's how it. I think that's how it works, right? You get 4 of you to do overtime. But it only goes to anyone who actually does some work. I think that's how it works, right? Seems reasonable. I'm a reasonable man. That's why. I'm sure, though, if I put in for 12 hours at time and a half, my boss might question that one. He tends to approve most of my overtimes and holidays without question. But that one, he might be like, hang on a minute, DJ, what are you doing? Right. Let's play a video game, shall we? With its splash screen that's probably louder than anything else. Alright, here we go. Load session 3. So, we've just had a lecture on voodoo. We now know that there is a Dumbala and a Hound 4. We know I've already forgotten them. I should have taken notes. In my new notebook. Look at that point and click bot notebook. I got my point and click bot travel mug. I now have 4 Redbubble travel mugs. So I'm always going to be good for keeping my coffee warm for up to an hour and a half. 4 mugs! I know, right? Alright, let's see what's going on. So we had a doze.
The podium. Hartridge's throne.
What? That thing looks interesting, yet I cannot click on it.
A projection screen dominates the front of the hall.
Go on, route around the bin. No, no.
Gabriel's in one of the lecture halls at Tulane University.
Okay, fine. Let's just talk to the professor, shall we?
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you've already interrupted and slept through my lecture, Mr. Knight.
Just like
I
a
hope you have
student.
something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
Okay, so this is cracking me up. Gabriel Knight, Sims of the Fathers. Oh, pow, 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 pow. That's brilliant. Well done, Kathy. It's a way as well their heads just... It's like when you see those TikToks of people trying to, like, reenact Grand Theft Auto, and they're just people standing in the street, like, doing their little motions. But it's true, just look at the, like, the heads just... Anyway, we've just sat. Love those 90s character idol animations. I know, yet this is 2014. It's like 8 years ago. Anyway, we've just sat through a lecture about voodoo, and yet we're going to ask, what can you tell me about voodoo?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treat voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
Sure, mate. Okay.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery, in turn, has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
Good old Catholic Church.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
No.
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should read my books.
Oh, don't make me read books. Don't know the Catholic Church. That one, Gabe Reed. I know. Hi, Art. How you doing? Don't know the Catholic Church. Having had a Catholic upbringing, it came in very handy once. Hang on, I need a prop. There it is. Okay. Some of you may be aware of the very highbrow TV quiz show Only Connect, which when I get my Twitter archive, I'm gonna find some embarrassing tweets about Victoria Corrin. Hard-ass game show, exactly. So if you know Only Connect, which is a game show about finding the connections between things, in the second round, they give you a series of 3 clues, and you have to say what the 4th clue is going to be, because they should form a sequence. One of them's really hard because it'll be a picture. Missing vowels, yes, the missing vowel round. Always just, that one just makes me freeze a lot. The Wall was fun. They used to have The Wall on the BBC website. You could play some of the walls. I think you could even try and create your own. So anyway, the second picture round. So you've got, like, you're given the first clue, and you have to try and guess what the fourth item in the sequence is. And just once I got it off one clue, and that's because I'm Catholic. The clue was a picture. Let me make sure it stands out. That was the first clue. Can you guess? I immediately got it. Can you guess what the last the last one, Kathy remembers, what the last image in the sequence of 4 should be? I have told this story before. Okay, that's fair enough. I don't have many good anecdotes, so I just repeat the same ones. Fucking you lot watch Guy Kelly, and he's only got 2 jokes. The fourth would be a pocket watch. Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. The sign of the cross. And that's the only time I was good at Only Connect. That's it. Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. I don't know who keeps their watch on their right breast aside from nurses. You know, someone who isn't even Catholic who likes to make that joke. Fair enough. Kathy's got friends who got to the final in one series. That's amazing. Kathy knows some very smart people. Anyway, mister, what can you tell me about snakes?
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel. Huh.
Okay, you had zero religious upbringing, so that when you went to an Anglican wedding, you thought the priest was doing some kind of magic trick with a cup and a handkerchief. Wine, vegetable wine. I mean, if it was, no, you said Anglican, so obviously it wasn't. If it were a Catholic ceremony, then it would be a magical trick. Because the Catholics really believe in transubstantiation. Mass Effect. Last time Kathy went to church with an ex's family for Christmas midnight mass, and it was weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Everyone knowing when to, some of that stuff is, I mean, if you have it as an upbringing, and I went to Catholic schools as well, just some of that stuff is just like ingrained in your brain. Like Star Wars is kind of ruined because, you know, if you ask something to be with someone, like, may the force be with you, like, your instant response is going to be, and also with you. Lift up your hearts, re-lift them up to the Lord. It is right to give him thanks and praise. Atheist me doesn't like that. Wasn't the elevation of the Horseman. Yeah, no clue what to do other than stand there. And then knowing when to stand, when to sit, when to kneel as well. There's no clues. There's no bit where it's like, now kneel, now stand. There's no like light up signs. You just have to know. So when the Pope comes to town, I think this was an old Not the 9 o'clock news joke of Rowan Atkinson doing a speech about how the Pope has come to town, and suddenly all these people have shown up. I was like, you don't know when to sit, stand, or kneel. You're up and down like a horse draws. And they need neon lights. A traffic light system. That's what you need. Everyone needs a traffic light system. That's what we need to wire up a Raspberry Pi and some traffic lights back behind me, so we can do a traffic light system. And you can use commands in chat to go, no, DJ, no, and just turn everything red. I did go to another Methodist where the priest said that people could come up and take communion. I've seen a look on your face and then said, if you wish to remain seated, that's okay too. Bless them. Anyway, does anyone know any French in this goddamn city?
Do you know what Capri Saint-Cor means?
Cabri Saint-Cor? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, sorry. There's me trying to do something dramatic, but instead we got the pleasant tinkle.
A chicken.
And that's more a bull without horns, isn't it?
What was that translation for Capri Saint-Cor again?
It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
There's a chicken in God of War, or a goat without horns. No, I'm sure you mean a chicken. So you made sure to yell, a chicken, when you saw it. Excellent. Just sitting there, a chicken! Brilliant.
A chicken.
Okay, so he's got nothing else to say. We're just going to repeat the same thing. Right.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting, from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Fucking hell, we got ourselves a voodoo hipster here. Who's like, oh yes, I prefer the older stuff before they sold out. Hubby asked if you were going to kill it, and you said no. You play Skyrim, you're not falling for that one again. Okay, I don't know this tale. Kill a chicken and break the game? Really? Like, this sounds like something that might have been in black and white. Villagers will attack you if you kill a chicken. Wow. I suppose it's one way to grind for XP. Wander into a village, kill a chicken, then kill all the villagers, and just go, buff strong. It sounds like a sort of thing that's lifted from black and white. There was a weird game. It blocks you doing the things you need to do in the village, though. Oh, usually a dragon also shows up and everything goes to hell. A dragon or Thomas the Tank Engine? I know that meme. Toot toot. Only did it once. Remember, be more like Grace and just go...
A chicken.
And leave it alone. Don't try and catch it.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Do not try to kill a chicken.
Do you know anything about veves?
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
Fine. Hello, Rick. Welcome in. Someone did a Skyrim intro with, ooh, Randy, Macho Man. I'm a terrible Macho Man impression. Cup of coffee is the big time. Oh, dig it. Right, you have to press the button.
That I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
No, nobody can touch you, Phil. You managed to work yourself into a shoe out of a job, you bellend. That's politics you don't need to know about. But Mindy's Bakery, Chicago. Here it is, everyone's favorite other question, other than what can you tell me about voodoo, is Damballa. Let's see how unsexy Gabe will say Damballa.
Tell me about Damballa.
Damballa is one of the major Rada Loa, also known as Damballa Wado. He is an ancient Dahomian rain god, often represented as a large boa constrictor. Damballa is the most powerful and most violent of the Rada Loa. The Rada Loa are typically benevolent, as opposed, say, to the Patro Loa. He is still worshipped heavily in Haiti, and when voodoo first started in New Orleans, the early conclaves were reportedly based on the worship of the great zombie, the great serpent Damballa.
Gabriel Knight, boner killer.
Tell me more about Damballa.
I have extensive courses in the Loa running next semester. Perhaps you should take one of those, Mr. Knight.
Tell me about Ogun Badagri.
Ogun Badagri is one of the Patroloa. The Patroloa are much more violent than the Radaloa. Some people believe the Patroloa originated in Haiti, but I have found some evidence that the Patroloa were African as well, though worshipped only by a small voodoo tribe, and a very bloody one.
It's going to be said, like, his reading there of Ogun Badagri, very fast. Almost as if, like, we're paying you by the hour, be quicker.
Tell me more about Ogun Badagri.
See?
He is a chief nasty, Mr. Knight. He is the spirit of war and destruction.
An end-of-level boss, you say?
Tell me about yourself.
All right, Mr. Knight. I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse. In religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
Oh, no.
Fine.
I'm heterosexual, you know! No, Rick is not a boner killer. I'm sure Rick is an exceptionally handsome man. And might be a boner riser. You know what? I'm heterosexual, you know! I also don't get the Syracuse reference or the need to shout out that he was heterosexual. With a better, more sarky voice actor, that line could have been funny. Yeah. No. I think if you're gonna have him as nuttats, it's gonna have to be no homo. Right, tell me about yourself, you exceptionally straight man, you.
I'd really like to know more about you.
There have been several articles written about me, Mr. Knight, as well as blurbs on my book jackets. If you want a biography, read.
Rick's like, you talking about me? I'm trying to make dinner, and you're talking shit about me. We're saying that you're exceptionally handsome, Rick, and not a boner killer. And I'm very heterosexual.
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud, I didn't think you'd heard it.
You must travel a lot.
Yes, to Africa mainly.
I'm very interested in voodoo myself right now.
How nice for you.
Again, that line with a better actor should have had such more snark and passag to it. They cheaped out on the actors. We spent all this money on The Sims.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Ezuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ezuli is the gentlest of Loire, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before a possession by one of the more violent Loire, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that Loire will simply take it for themselves.
Everyone's like, a cock, you say? I think what he meant was,
A chicken.
I've got both buttons. Brilliant.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably haven't seen a human sacrifice for several generations.
All right. We've exhausted all conversations with him.
Gabriel's in one of... The door to Hartridge's office is locked.
I don't think there's anything else. Seats.
The seats are the fold-down kind.
Right, I guess we are done with the lecture hall for the time
I'll be
being.
going.
Oh, do keep in touch.
Right. We've had... let's have a look. Right, let's... We've got some...
The iridescent scale is hued olive green. It doesn't seem to match the scale from Lake Pontchartrain.
Oh, cool. Right, there we go. So that got a ding, 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 ding for comparing things. Oh, the phone book. That we gotta find Thingy Bob, haven't we? We got a brick. We got some voodoo code. We got the Veve. Oh, hang on. Maybe we should, while we're at it, go, hello, have a look at some things.
Can you tell me anything about this?
Forgot we got
No.
items.
I've never seen those symbols. Therefore, they're probably meaningless.
Really? Are you sure?
I'm never wrong, Mr. Knight. Therefore, sure is not in my vocabulary.
Wow, what a prick. It's like, I'm not... Yeah, smug dick, right? Well, I've never seen them before. They must be meaningless. It's like, it's fucking kanji, mate. It's like, it's the whole language. Well, no, it's nonsense. It's meaningless nonsense is what it is. Let's show him a Veve, though.
Can you tell me anything about this?
Yeah, thanks, white guy.
Wow. Interesting.
Oh, he
Very
likes this.
interesting. Mind if I copy this?
Be my guest.
Great. I'll be right back. Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating Veve. You must tell me all about its origin.
Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols?
Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want to research the design myself.
Have you heard of the voodoo murders?
No, you're kidding. Really? Then the voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy, are they wrong.
You think this Veve is authentic?
Authentic? Mr. Knight, that's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into these symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information. You are associated with the police, aren't you?
Absolutely. But I'm undercover. You can contact me at St. George's Bookshop in the quarter.
All right. Now, I'd like to get started on this, if you don't mind.
Ding ding. Would Gabe know the Mona Lisa is a painting? Maybe, but also, as any fool know, with regards to the Mona Lisa, this is a fake. It's probably wondering she's single. She keeps looking at me, no matter where I am in the room. She wants me. Have I got any other things to show him? A brick.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
We don't need to show him the phone book, do we? Let me show you my drawings.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
I think we've got what we needed to. He's going to look at the Veves for us. Now
I'll see you later.
The map.
Goodbye.
Bum 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 bum. Okay. Go back to the French Quarter. Right. See the World Travel Agency. Cajun Critters Veterinary Clinic. We got all the casinos which we need to get through, and we only have them as phone numbers. Looks like we're gonna need to make some phone calls.
Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
Yeah, it's party time, yes? Let's have coffee at least. Look at them butt cheeks. Put them butt cheeks on the desk.
Good coffee.
That was one of the Sims expansion packs. Sims butt cheeks. Right. Are they going to be... Right, where is the phone? We're going to terminate our way down the phone, but pretty much... Madame Casino. Yes. Can we cheat a little bit, as opposed to remembering numbers ourselves? Okay, well at least it pulls it up. 555-0127. Oh, dial.
Hello.
Is this the Casino residence?
Yes. What can I do for you?
Do you or does anyone in your family patronize the Dixieland drugstore?
I'm a busy man. What are you selling?
Nothing.
Good. Goodbye.
Not that one.
Casino residence.
Hi. I was wondering if you could help me.
Yeah?
A woman in the Dixieland drugstore dropped her purse today, and the name Casino was inside it.
Dixieland drugstore? Never heard of it. Sorry.
Well, that's a good line to use. Did we finally manage to locate someone who speaks French in the French Quarter? No, we had to go to the university to find the voodoo hipster guy, who, if he doesn't recognize a form of writing, thinks it's gibberish. It's like, mate, that's Arabic. 0128.
Hello?
Hello, I'm calling from the Dixieland drugstore. We have an order for you.
Castro, be quiet. Who is this?
I'm a friend of the owner.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, that's the one, isn't it? With a yappy dog. Let's bring the last one.
Casino residents, may I help you?
Hi, you've won a customer raffle at the Dixieland drugstore.
No soliciting, please.
Right, we know which casino it is now. Hopefully, that gives us a location on the map. What?
I knew
Feels-
you'd miss me, so I came back.
Really?
Jesus, King.
I forgot you were gone.
Feels like the drugstore should have some legal basis to sue us for impersonation here. Probably. Let's have a chat, Grace.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Ooh, no. Makes my skin crawl, though.
Have you ever heard of Dambala?
No, sorry.
We should sue for a poor Tim Curry
Do
impersonation.
you know anything about Veves?
Not a clue. Sorry.
Ritual patterns used in voodoo.
Fascinating. I can't help you out, though.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I have a pattern I need you to research.
How interesting. What is it?
It's a reconstruction of the tracings they found around the murder victims. The ones done in flour and blood.
Yuck. You shouldn't carry this kind of thing around. Who knows what these symbols mean?
Yeah, that's
Well, wear
fine.
your evil banishing gloves if you want, but check it out for me, would you?
I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Right, so if do we just keep dialing? So it's 0128, it's Caznue, isn't it? Oh, wait, hang on. The dog. The dog. Fucking clear.
Cajun Critters Animal Clinic. This is Melissa.
Do you have Madame Casino as a client?
Madame Casino? Sure, I know her. She's not here right now, though.
Really? She told me she'd be there. Would you happen to have her address by any chance?
Yes, but I'm not sure I should give it out. Who are you again?
I'm worried about Castro. He's missed 3 dance lessons.
Castro? Her little doggy? Oh, he's so sweet. Well, I guess if you know Castro, it's okay. Her address is 345 Dauphine.
There we
Thanks.
go. That's using Achievement Unlocked Stalking 101. Yes, folks. You need to find out where a woman lives. Go through the pets. Wow. Smart thing Gabe's done, and it's to stalk a woman. but he's stalking an older woman, so not ageist. Perfectly in character. Right, now I do remember the puzzle to get in her house involved a shirt and gel, but I've got a feeling we might need something else.
The typewriter is too heavy to lug around.
Like maybe a slip of paper or card.
Writer's block.
Alright, never mind. Maybe we've got enough. Not
Gabriel
lots of them.
stands at the door of an old quarter residence. The neighborhood is a little shabby, but this particular building is freshly painted.
Finally, another vehicle on the streets.
Yes? Who is it?
I've got some great pet supplies. Coochie coochie coo, little doggy.
Castro has everything he needs. Don't you, Castro?
Thanks a lot, Castro.
Fuck you, doggy. Let's try them all.
Yes? Who is it?
Me again.
Land shark.
You are no Bill Murray.
Is that good thing she has a bad memory. What's the film? The one that I haven't seen with the golfing. Is that what that is about? The land shark thing? Never mind. That was a gag for people who know films. Not Happy Gilmore, no, the older one.
Yes? Who is it?
It's like an early Bill Murray film.
I have some fine magazine subscriptions for sale.
I am sorry, I am not interested.
Caddyshack! That's the one. Just wind up a senile old lady
Yes?
day.
Who is it?
It's your optician. I've got your glasses. No, I've never seen it as well. I just know a handful of references from various things.
Hi, I'm doing an article on voodoo, and I heard that you are...
I'm a good Catholic young man. Take your evil influence elsewhere.
But I just have a few questions.
I can feel the evil eye. Go away.
There's the clue. She's a good Catholic.
Yes? Who is it?
Please let me talk to you, Madam Casino.
I do not talk to strangers, young man.
Right. Let's,
Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
Now, I think we need to...
I don't need to,
I think we're missing one thing here. Right, so that this... I remember this puzzle from the last time. We need to... She's given us a clue. She's a good Catholic woman. So we need to pretend to be a priest. Which is why we've got a gel for our hair and this lovely black shirt instead of our white t-shirts. But I feel like we also need a piece of card or something to make the dog collar. It's mustache time. I know it's cat hair mustache. So I think we need to. No. A good Catholic woman who regularly buys magic spells. I know, right? Maybe Grace's art supplies might have some card
Grace
in there.
keeps her art supplies here.
Grace, may
Gabriel
I?
wouldn't dare touch Grace's
No,
oil
okay.
paints. Gabriel checks the drawer again, just in case life as we know it changed significantly since he last looked.
With money.
Gabriel doesn't want to take that with him.
Like, I needed $100 for the head. How does one make a dog collar? I mean, I just use a bit of paper, to be honest. But apparently not. Like, we've got enough cardboard and stuff here. How does one make a dog collar? Does sound like a setup for a joke. And I'm pretty certain that we get changed here as well. Socks.
If I threw those pages away...
Gabriel couldn't pay those.
Can you pay my bills?
Gabriel's.
How do I make a dog collar? Give it our number. Okay, yeah, I see what you're doing. You tell it she called while it was outside. How do you make a dog collar? You tell it she called. We're reaching, aren't we? We're reaching. I wish I could get my coat and solve this puzzle. Boo 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 boo.
It's Gabriel. The carpet was grand. She gave it to Gabriel to cheer the place up.
Right, I'm not sure there's anything in here that's gonna be of help.
I can go through the rest of that.
Books and box and Grace.
That doesn't seem to work that way.
Got a minute?
What's up?
No, we got nothing here. What are we missing? To make ourselves a priest costume. How do we dress like a sexy priest? Again,
I've
dramatic
got some things
prose.
I need to do.
Good luck.
I'll probably be back in 2 minutes. Don't think we've got anything else to talk about here with Willie. Sexy Ricker.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want. I answer what I want.
Fair enough.
I found out what Cabri Sankal means. How did you know about human sacrifice?
I never said them words, monsieur. You must have heard them from someone else.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
Marie? She's somebody from the old days. One of them old folk tales. The tourists eat it up, no?
What else do you know about Marie Laveau?
I don't know much, monsieur. Someone at the Voodoo Museum can tell you all about her.
Yeah, maybe we'll go there in a bit.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Don't talk like that around here, man.
Oh, touching a nerve.
Do you know anything about Veves?
Like the ones in the voodoo rituals they do for the tourists?
Right.
They curiosities, no? This a curio shop.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Damballa is an African legend about a great serpent. Folklore, that's all.
How's business?
About like always.
I'm a businessman too. I own a bookstore here in the quarter.
I don't really care, me. I got a store to run.
Have you always lived in New Orleans?
My papa and his papa and his papa, all the way back to the days of Marie Laveau, we've been living here.
Oh, so you do know more about Marie Laveau.
So, does any of this stuff actually work?
You crazy, man? These are just curios, novelties for the tourists.
Nice weather we're having.
Don't bother me. Can't you see I'm busy? St. John Eve coming, I got to be ready.
Would you take 50 for Willie Jr.?
Don't insult me, monsieur. The price is $120.
I thought it was 100.
What? You said you'd sell it for 100 before.
You misheard, monsieur. The price was always 120.
He's a sneaky fella, isn't he? First read that as Sexy VCR. I did as well, which reminds me of a Babylon 5 episode. Top loading. Taffy. Yeah, no, it was there was a thing in Babylon 5 where there was someone recording someone's thoughts, and they were called a vicar or VCR because it was a pun. Right. What if I showed you a Veve?
Do you recognize this pattern?
Don't look familiar at all, monsieur.
What if I showed him some code?
Do you know anything about these crosses? I think there's some kind of code.
Look like a lot of hand tracks to me, man.
Gotta get this hen out.
Does this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't show me flowers for a voodoo in. Right. I'm not sure there's much else to do here aside from try and buy the mask.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Yeah, can talk to you about things.
could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
Sure.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Of course. It is one of the Loa.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I do not believe so.
Yeah,
Isn't he one of the Loa?
Perhaps. I am not familiar with some of the more obscure Haitian and African Loa.
Do you know anything about Veves?
I believe they have something to do with Haitian voodoo. But that is not really my area.
What a big bunch of lies. Alright, let's show you things.
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
No. They look like nonsense to me. Where did you get them, if I might inquire?
I saw them scribbled somewhere. Just graffiti, I guess.
I see. By the way, I forgot to warn you, Mr. Knight. The local cemeteries are quite dangerous. Muggers, vandals. I would avoid going there alone if I were you.
Really? Thanks for the advice.
So he knew it came from the cemetery, huh?
Does this pattern look familiar to you?
Where did you get that?
You do recognize it then?
I have never seen it before in my life.
Are you sure about this pattern?
I am sure, Mr. Knight.
The big liar. You big liar. Right. You don't have any bits of cardboard I can steal, do you? No.
Walk carefully out there, Mr. Knight.
Oh, he's getting threatening now, huh? Hello, Ray. How you doing? How was your convention, doodad? What's it? Did you have fun? Hello, Kira. Right, let's see who's around. Yeah, no, we've done all the puzzles here, right? Haven't we? I'm pretty sure of that. Your legs are aching. A lot of walking, huh? Hello.
Hello there. Got a sec?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
I like this fella.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, alright, no, you're no help. Us walk and stand around, chatting cool people. Excellent. Did you get... Oh, hello.
Malia?
Mr. Knight, what are you doing here?
My family's tomb is here.
Mine too.
Unnoticed. Subtle.
Well, Mr. Knight, if there's nothing else...
Don't go. I need to talk to you.
Don't grab women in
I
cemeteries.
can't stop thinking about you. I've been in your thoughts too. I can see it in your eyes.
Mr. Knight, you don't know anything about me. I'm not in a position to get involved.
I've said that a million times myself, but this is different. I think we both know we can't fight it.
Shut up, Gabe.
Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this.
I have so many obligations. My family is very traditional. You wouldn't understand.
Hey, I love tradition. I've seen Fiddler on the Roof 100 times.
This isn't a musical, Mr. Knight. We live in different worlds.
Look, I know you got more money than God. Do you think I care? Do you think that's why I'm saying this?
No, I don't.
Why don't you come see my world? I've got a little bookshop, St. George's on Bourbon.
I know.
See, I knew it. You're crazy about me too.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come by tonight. Please. My world isn't so bad.
I'm sorry, but there's no place for someone like you in my life. Not now, not ever.
And quite frankly, you should have backed away the first time he grabbed you. Gabe, you're a filth perv man. Achievement unlocked though, Star-Crossed Lovers. This looks very Nightmare, not far off. I still think though the second game, I don't know why, but that bit when you walk around the corner into the town when you're Grace, that one just makes me think very Nightmare. Automatic doors in the mausoleum. Oh yeah, let's see if we can... if she's locked after herself.
It's locked shut.
Oh, go on.
The plate is in locked position. There's a keyhole on the plate, but Gabriel can't operate that without a key.
Yes, that is a brilliant, brilliant joke that Kathy did make. Everyone appreciate it. Gabriel Knight, Sims of the Fathers.
Another ancient family.
Is she just hiding back there? She's hiding around the corner. They didn't take the asset off the screen. They just hid it. More like should have needed him in the Veves the first time I grabbed her. Oh, yes. But like, literally, she's just hiding behind... Has he gone yet? Oh. Fine. Sorry, a piss behind the statue. Good. Right. The thing is, we're in the middle of the puzzle of trying to get into Madame Cazeneu's house. Where we need to look like a Catholic priest, of which we've got the shirt and the gel, but I think we need a dog collar, right? All right, let's go to the... Let's see if we can steal some stuff from the cathedral.
Curtain confess.
Oh, hey.
There's a knothole about the size of a quarter in the wood paneling on that wall.
I remember that.
A meshed window provides access to the confessional from the priest's booth.
Confess your sins, Gabe. Strap in, folks.
May I help you, my child?
Could you give me a blessing?
Do you feel the need for a blessing?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
All right, if it will comfort you.
The priest blesses Gabriel through the confessional window.
Peace be with you, son.
Thank you, Father.
Is there anything else?
What do you know about Dumbala?
Can I ask you a few questions?
The confessional is not the best place for interviews, son. You can contact the parish offices if you need private counseling.
I understand. Thanks, Father.
Is there anything else?
I'd like to make a confession.
All right, if it'll make you feel better.
What a priest! Like, I'd like to make a confession. All right, if it'll make you feel better. It's like the point of... like, do you not know what... This is a sacrament. One sassy priest. And I've just remembered something. Anyway. What are we going to cover? Oh, nice nut tats. Nice nut tats. What are we going to... What is the worst crime that we've done here? Just like overall apology. 40-minute YouTube video. What's the worst crime we want to confess to? To be honest, I think it's Grace.
I haven't paid my assistant for 3 months.
Have you had the money?
Nope.
Sounds like a matter for the courts, son, not the church. Is there anything else?
I've had a lot of women, Father.
A lot? More than 10?
Yes, Father.
More than 20?
Yes, Father.
More than 40?
Yes, Father.
Son, I don't think this is a matter for a priest. I think you need a good therapist.
If we're counting therapists, then I'm up to at least, let's see here, count the one, and, this might take a while.
My son, I'm afraid my lunch break is coming on about now. Pray for forgiveness and say 20 rosaries.
Look, mate, I'm on the clock.
On second thought, when you finish the math, say that many rosaries.
That's a good gag.
Gabriel hears him leave the confessional.
I should probably add one more rosary for that while I'm at it. I've been a bad boy.
I've been a bad boy.
A mesh. The panel behind the mesh.
I've always wondered how the other half lives.
I wish to be forgiven for my sins to avert eternal torment. If you have to.
There's a box under the shelf of the priest's confessional. Inside the box, Gabriel finds a priest's collar and some oil used for blessing.
We'll have that.
You never know when a priest's collar will come in handy.
That oil is for holy purposes, not the sort of thing Gabriel would want to use it for.
But I think I remember, like, the original puzzle. There was basically the vestibule where the priest gets ready, and that's where you stole the collar from. Like, who leaves?
The mesh window on this side has a wooden door that slides open to let the priest hear confession.
Like, who leaves a spare dog collar in the confession booth? It's weird.
He hears someone enter and kneel down on the other side.
Father, I'd like to make a confession.
I'm not actually a priest. Now, come on, let's do this. While Rick, avert eternal torment. I just don't fancy hell. Go, Rick. Who leaves their who leaves a dog collar in the confessional booth? Someone who doesn't normally wear one. Anyway.
Go on, my son.
I've recently come into a large sum of money.
I don't really see a problem with that.
It's not that. It's how I got it. I literally found a suitcase of money. So I picked it up and took it instead of telling the police or trying to find who it belonged to.
Are we going to comment on this terrible Irish accent?
Give it up to charity.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Thanks, Father.
The man leaves the confessional.
Now I can say I did one good deed today.
And then I was hoping to take the money from the charity box. That joke works better written. Two Romans are talking. First Roman, guess how many women I've had? Second Roman, not that many. Very good. A very good written joke. Right, I was hoping maybe we could have got like $120. Right. Let's combine things. Now we've got it's literally called a priest disguise.
It looks like my priest outfit is complete.
Now we're just gonna find somewhere to change. I think
Hello, beautiful. It's me.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
I think we're going to get changed here. And yes, wow.
It looks like my priest outfit is complete.
Good. How do we use it? How do we get changed? I seem to remember. What the hell was what animation? What, his walking? Budget Sims, isn't it? Right. Priest disguise. It's complete. I wish to wear the priest disguise. We do it on the street, maybe. The way he floated weirdly over to the closet. I mean, yeah, he does weird things. Gabe's a weird guy, you know? Also, I should probably save. We haven't done a
I've
save
got some
yet.
things I need to do.
Good luck.
Gabe's just this guy, you know? Right. I like the way it doesn't respond to the enter key. Right. Weirdly floating animation. Yes.
Yes? Who is it?
Who is it?
Wrong house. Never mind.
Fine, good day.
Oh,
All right, but this is private.
There we go. You click on Gabe.
Yes? Who is it?
Yeah, obviously it makes absolute sense when you think about it. Get ready for a bad Irish accent.
It's Father McLaughlin to see you.
Father McLaughlin, you say? You must be new in the parish. I'm so pleased to meet you, Father. Do come in.
Thank you, my child.
The ancestors are crying.
Please be seated, Father.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
Right, let's have a look around.
The upholstered chair is less comfortable than it looks.
I'm surprised it's not got plastic on it.
It's a painting of a pretty young lady in old-fashioned clothes.
In case you didn't realize this one was Catholic.
The painting behind the couch is a Madonna and Child. Madame's parlor is full of carefully dusted and polished relics of her past. An old table lamp with a fringe shade gives off what little light there is in the parlor.
And a lot of candles.
Madame seems to like candles. Gabriel wonders if these too are specialties of Mr. Walker's shop. The tea service has been polished recently. Madame uses it with her Creole sisters, perhaps. It's a large antique cabinet. It's probably worth something.
Wow, that's what probably worth something.
The plant looks healthy, despite Gabriel's vague impression that Castro makes great use of it. A low wooden coffee table sits in front of the sofa.
All right, let's have a chat then.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions, my child?
Of course not, mon père.
Look at him with his slick back hair. Here we go, right. Let's go through all the questions.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
People think I'm just a foolish old woman. but I know the things they do. My family's been in New Orleans since 1750, so I know more than most. Voodoo people are all over the city, in the shops, everywhere. They'll curse you like that, and most people don't even notice. Spit on your bread at the bakery. Take strands of your hair at the store when you try on clothes. Oh, you have to be so careful. But I know their ways, so I can protect myself. I know how to use the magic too, and I can counteract their evil spells.
Uh-huh.
Tell me more about voodoo in New Orleans.
It's just plain evil. It's dangerous to even discuss it.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Voodoo murders? Ah, they are nothing new to me, Father. They happen all the time. I hardly go out anymore. It's too dangerous in the streets. They can get you anywhere, you know. Even here, in this room. But I try not to let them know about me. That's the best way.
This accent keeps getting worse. I tell you what, we have stumbled into an episode of Allo Allo with just bad accents left, right, and centre.
What else do you know about the voodoo murders?
Shh! They'll hear you.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
The only true New Orleans are of French origin, you know. My family were among the original settlers of New Orleans. They came here from France. The Creole society used to be so gay in New Orleans. Now it barely hangs on by its fingernails.
I don't think she means gay like that either. When you're like, oh, the only true New Orleans are the French slave trading settlers. I've got a feeling that this woman doesn't mean gay as in homosexual. And as we know, people are very heterosexual in this game. Oh, that's something you missed earlier, Ray and Kira, when we were talking to the lecturer. And we were like, no, tell me about yourself. And he's like, oh, I'm 35. This, I'm heterosexual. Really? Very heterosexual. I'm very sure she knows the problematic gays of the olden times.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? They're evil creatures. Did you know that evil people can send them into your dreams? They can. That's why I never sleep.
That explains a lot.
Right, thanks. Do you know anything else about snakes?
It would be bad luck to talk about that anymore.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
Oh, St. John's Eve, mais oui. I used to love the St. John's Eve Mass at St. Louis Cathedral. Of course, it is also a night of great wickedness, worse than All Hallows Eve. They will corrupt anything, Father.
They? They who?
Oh, you know.
Yes, the most bizarre part is actually, I'm heterosexual when I do practice sex, which isn't often, which is either, are you actually ace, or are you an incel? I listen to a great deal of that podcast, The Bad Gays. I like it when they talk about my old friends. I mean, it was the 90s, so, like, Ace and Arrow wasn't quite out there in the public sphere. Maybe he's Ace and doesn't realise it and is just an incel. Who knows? He's very heterosexual, though. He made a point of telling us that he's heterosexual, so I guess we'll take his word for it. And probably an incel. That's alright, I remember the game. He's not
What
long for
else
it.
can you tell me about St. John's
Spoilers.
Eve?
I don't think I should say any more about that.
Alright, what do you know about
Do you
human
have
sacrifice?
any idea what Caprice and Cour means?
Maybe. I know. I bet you do not know, Father, n'est pas?
Ace or just misogynistic? Oh. Shall we be smart? Let's be smart.
It means goat without horns.
Father, you surprised me. You do know what it means. You know what they mean by goat without horns, don't you? A human being. That's right. Slit your throat, cut out your heart. Pure evil murder.
Hey, Rick, remember when you were asking earlier, like, have we found anyone who speaks French in the French Quarter? Finally! He gave Babe, I intimidate women because I'm too smart for the vibes. Yes, very good point. Incel confirmed. I mean, he's definitely like fucking hipster voodoo thing. Oh, Haitian voodoo, eh?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, her. I could tell you about her. Voodoo Queen? Ah. My great-grandmother was an acolyte of Marie Laveau. She knows the truth about her.
Oh, the truth. The French and the Irish accent. I know, it's a car wreck. Right, more memory.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She was only a front for the real evildoers.
A front?
And that's the truth about Marie Laveau.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Veves?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Wow, this is just the same loop again. Every voice actor was paid by the hour, and they didn't have much budget for the voice actors. You know, the goat without horns, the long pig, the hairless ape. You get one take, do it fast.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
You don't know who's imitating that one. Well, when Guy does that, now I'm not sure if he might flip into either. That'll be a point where Guy will either do a Stuart Lee or a Mark Heap. Anyway, Granny, what can you tell us about human sacrifice?
Do you know anything about human sacrifice here in New Orleans?
Well, my great-grandmother could tell stories. She saw it. People say that sort of thing wasn't done in New Orleans, but the real voodoo queens did it. Oh, yes.
The real voodoo queens? Just jump to that.
Who are the real voodoo queens?
Well, my great-grandmother told me that Laveau was just a front, a flamboyant decoy. She distracted authorities from the real voodoo queen.
Yes, but who were they?
It's been the same one for almost 200 years. She's head of a secret voodoo enfant. That's what they call their temples, you know. It's so secret, most of the voodoo people in the city don't even know about it. The real voodoo queen controlled Laveau, gave her a little bit of power, and used her like a puppet.
Actually, yes, Kira, I think you're right. It's when Guy does that, he does a Matt Berry voice. I don't remember the Mighty Boosh to that. Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, we're riffing on Guy, riffing on something. Basically, we're accusing Guy Kelly of only having 2 jokes, and they're just rip-offs of things he's seen on the television. He's not a funny man. He is a funny man. He's done a stand-up show. What have I done? Sat here and just snarked at video games. The Hedgehog one. The Hedgehog one, which I've done with boxes of matches. Loads. And it was bunnies. Just because he's remixed it to hedgehogs. I used to get a box of matches and pull out a match and go, calling all bunnies, because that's the joke. Or sometimes if you got yourself those American style paper packets of cigarettes. You know, not the cardboard ones with the flippy box, but the ones with the foil on the top, and you flick them from the bottom, poke them out. And you pull out and go, calling all bunnies, calling all bunnies. The tape measure. I've got tape measure too. Calling all bunnies, calling all bunnies. We don't often get soft packs in the UK. Let's talk about cigarettes, because we're unfairly bitching about... I'm unfairly bitching about Guy Kelly. I'm just jealous of his good looks. But yeah, the UK generally has got like the cardboard flippy stuff for cigarettes. But now and again, you'll get soft packs, and, you know, because you're 17 years old and trying to be cool, you'll buy them. On them. We don't show off our soft packs. I believe that's a trans mask joke. He is a handsome man, though. So good looking, the bastard. That's why I hate him. Guy likes to do the ring fit room. It's a confusing day for all the bisexuals. And to be honest, the straights as well. No soft packs, please. We're British.
Tell me more about this secret voodoo hound for.
Well, I've never seen it. I wouldn't go near it if you bade me. But it's here in New Orleans, I guarantee it. I hear their drums at night, oh yes. That's why I'm so ill, I tell you, those drums. But we shouldn't talk about it. They'll hear us. It's the devil's work that happens there, I can tell you. I'll show you something secret. You mustn't tell anyone, Pazer.
I swear on my collar.
Here it is, mon père. A true object of evil if ever there was one.
It radiates something, all right.
It belonged to my great-grandmother. She told my mother that it was a token to gain entrance to the real voodoo ceremonies.
You don't say.
To tell you the truth, I've always felt nervous about having it in the house. You know, evil influence and all.
I can see how you would, yes.
And yet, I could never part with it. It's been in the family for generations. Would you bless it for me, Father? I feel strange asking such a thing of you, but surely you understand.
Bless this bracelet of a snake. Even though its vibes aren't great, let it do nobody harm when they wear it on their arm. Voodoo spirits, go away. Don't come back another day. And now let us pray.
Well done, Gabe. Also, I remember this puzzle.
Gabriel has a thought about the clay.
Bless, oh bless this circlet of silver.
And let them not steal me Lucky
Take
Charms.
the curse, oh take it, Wilbur.
A lovely blessing, mon père.
Yes, I think it made a lasting impression. Here you go.
I feel so much better now.
She dies tonight. Achievement unlocked, making an impression. So, in case you missed what happened there, it's mainly because I remember it from the first game. Is that like we haven't like I've definitely jumped ahead of unlocking a reason to do that, but we have used the clay that we picked up from by the river, because when we were at the crime scene I was like, oh, there's clay, let's just pick up some clay, you never know when you might need some clay, and put it in our magic pockets of holding. And we just use the clay to make a mold of the bracelet, so that I think we can get someone to make a copy of it at a later point. But like, we've made that mold and we shoved it in our jeans pocket, which as we know, Gabriel Knight can stuff a lot of things in his jeans. Like we did see on the third game how he took Mosey's jacket. Can't believe I just said that.
A chicken.
That didn't help. Lots of empty space. Hey! Thanks for helping us recover that, Kira.
Tell me about yourself.
Me? I am Creole. My family has been in New Orleans for over 200 years. Real New Orleanians are French, you see. These days, the city is overrun with people with no heritage at all. No offense, Father, but it's true.
Fascist.
But the French, naturellement, will always be the true blood of New Orleans.
Fascist.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, Father, I don't know what else to say.
It's so nice of you to invite me in.
Très Vichy.
No, mon père. I am always happy to see one of the good fathers.
It's the good ones, not the bad ones.
Do you find the weather to your liking?
It's terribly humid. I only go out in the morning and the evening.
What a delightful little dog you have.
Ah yes, Castro is my boon companion.
Aren't you a member of the Creole Grand Arms?
Why, yes. We do much charitable work in the community, you know.
There's more chat.
Have you been attending Mass regularly, my child?
Oh, yes, Father. I attend Mass every morning. Many don't these days, you know.
You're dedicated, madam.
Alright, we have done all of the conversations with Madame Cazeneuve. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, what did I do?
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
We finished the day. Oh, yes.
Excuse me. I'm going inside.
Oh, I'm afraid St. George's is closed for the day.
I'm not a customer. I'm here to see the owner.
Why don't you just leave your name and number with me, and I'll tell him you stopped by.
Listen, if Gabriel is here, he'll want to see me. Is he? Here?
I really couldn't say for certain, but in the morning...
Gracie, say goodnight.
That cricket's on an urban street. It's a good point.
You came. I didn't think you would.
I didn't think I would either.
Yeah, you probably won't.
I could show you around a little. It's not much, but...
Please don't. I couldn't focus on much of anything right now.
Yeah, I know. God, what is it about you?
It's the big tits they programmed her. I spoke to one who smelled of death. He gave to me his ears, and crosses that were marked were made into a veil of tears. Walk of shame, walk of shame, walk of shame. Yeah, it's no Gabe 2 homoerotic boogaloo. Fairly sure part of Discord Noir's direct nod to this. Why can't I get Discord Noir to run? Silly Linux, silly any version of Windows.
You're not speaking to me this morning?
Don't be silly. I just have nothing to say.
Have it your way.
silly any version of Windows that there's some dude at the window talking of Windows that's not Windows
You noticed
98.
this guy outside the shop?
Yeah, he gives me the creeps. I wish he'd go away.
Did you find out anything about that pattern I gave you?
Yeah, I did find something. I checked the microfiche at the public library. I found an article about a murder in 1810. The newspaper published part of a pattern found around the body. It looks damn close.
You're incredible. All that work.
Forget it.
Bing, 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 bing. Right. Yeah, Grace's microfiche, how quaint, but right. Grace spent the entire day looking after the shop. And while Gabe was dicking about, pretending to be an Irish priest, Grace leaves it when the shop shuts in the evening, and somehow the library is still open for her to go and search through enough microfiche that she can go back to 1810. Gabe is never gonna pay her. Grace is a fucking superhero. Best part of these games. Sorry you can't source Win 98 in the year 2022. I know, right? What we need is an appropriate Windows 98 machine with composite out, and then I've got the capture cards, and we should go. But even then, it'll probably still crash, even if I got a gateway machine. Don't get why Grace doesn't just go work for someone who isn't that. I know, right? But that's the thing, she secretly loves him. You should be able... Oh, Kathy. Well, there's a chance of getting them for 30 quid, but I've also seen them for 1,000 because retro... People are like, yeah, you want a retro machine? Remember that one I found that was like 1,000 quid? I think it was a gateway. Or an E-machines or something. It's LGR's fault. He's putting the price up. Him and Nostalgia Nerd. Right. Folks, what are you saying? Yes, of course I want to recapture my youth. Look at me. Maybe the boxes you have in the garage are worth something now. Maybe. I mean, if you've got... Because Super Cheap Pentium 2 units use CCTV and Mega Drive emulation. If you still got that Pentium 2, and if we can find a graphics card with a composite out, please send it my way. I think Dad still has his old gaming machines, probably worth it now. Exactly, yeah. And if they're like... Particularly if they're an original nick as well. Like if you've got something like a Gateway or an E-Machines or a Dell or something. And it's pretty much original and it's not like a Frankenbox. It should be fine. Right, let's read the newspaper. We get achievement points for that.
Today's newspaper is on the counter.
Oh yeah, no, we could do the other button to read it.
Times dated June 21st, 1993. Gabriel's eye is immediately drawn to an article about the voodoo murders. He scans it quickly.
I don't believe this. They've closed the case.
What case?
The voodoo murders case. The paper says that the police have learned that the murders were a result of an underworld cartel war, and that the war is over.
That's not good?
It's ridiculous. And what about the killers? And the voodoo angle, they never got anything on that.
I know you were into it, Gabriel, but if it's over, that's hardly a negative. Anyway, if you're that upset, why don't you talk it over with your pal Mosley?
You don't get it, Grace. Just forget it, okay?
Gabriel decides to check his horoscope, despite his disgust. Death walks close to you today. Resist temptation lest his eye fall on you, too.
peachy.
Gabriel also spots an ad for Sam Springleton, a jeweler. Sam hangs out at the Napoleon House.
Oh, that's cunning. Right, immediately after we've taken a mold of a powerful bracelet, voodoo bracelet, that there's a master jeweler who has an advert in the newspaper. Anyway, case closed. Voodoo murder solved. The so-called voodoo murders are over at last, says Detective Franklin Mosley of the New Orleans Police Department. Our investigation has turned up that these murders were the result of an underworld drug cartel war, said Mosley at a press conference yesterday evening. That war has now ended, and the people of this great city are safe again. The police say they're doubling efforts to crack down on the underworld drug trade that briefly turned New Orleans into its private battleground. Death walks close to you today. Resist temptation, lest his eye fall on you too. And there is Sam Springleton, Master Jeweler. Private consignments, heirloom restorations and reproductions. Reasonable cost. Contact Sam at the Napoleon House, which I think is a pub. Master Jeweler voodoo bracelets. Right. Could I get the PS1 version? Did Noir come out on PS1? Like, I know that Discworld and Discworld 2 came out on PS1. I think I had Discworld 2 on PS1, in fact. But did Noir come out on PS1? But run it through a PS3 and CapCut. I mean, I could have a nose. It definitely did. Okay. Oh, is that the platform you played it on? It is buggy as fact, though. I mean, I bought the goddamn... It's sitting here, just looking at me. The tattiest of the lot. But, you know, I've got the big box. Should be able to run it. Not for sale in the USA or Canada. I will keep trying. I've got a big box. I've got a fuzz box and I know how to use it. Yeah, well. Oh, yes. Let's have a cup of coffee. And Rick's on the same wavelength as me. I think Rick realizes that we've hit a point in the game and in the stream where it's probably a good idea to wrap up. But yeah, we haven't seen the lads today. Snarf is on his spot on the floor of rubbish. You know, the rubbish that he's flipped off my table and I haven't bothered to pick up. Orko was here for a bit, obviously. No, you have not missed it. Right, let's put a save in. Save. And then let's... quit the game. I've got a fantastic angle on that camera, huh? Hello. Right. Snarf, you've been such a good boy. Just sat down there, not being a pest. Thank you for that. He wasn't a good boy earlier. I was having a poo. He comes in the bathroom. He screams at me, which he doesn't normally do. Then he jumped up on my lap. And it's like, I'm having a poo. No, they do not care. His eyes have lit up a bit. But the question is where's Orca? Checked eBay, the PS1 copies are obscene. Oof. I'll teach me to leave the door open. I live alone. Why should I shut the door after me? Ah, there he is. Hello. Knew you weren't far away. Because I live with cats. Well, no, That's why I pee sitting down, because Orko, literally, my old housemate popped round once, and he pissed on Orko's head. He's like, "Can I use a loo?" Yeah, okay. And just Orko's just like, "Ooh," and so later then like Stag leaves, and then Orko comes back, and I managed to scoop him and fuss him. I'm scratching the top of his head, and I'm like, "Oh my god, he actually did pee on your head." Right, Snarf, we got biscuits. Yes, hello, Grabby boy. He's just shouting no at the screen. There you go. Come on, Snarf. We have a competition, folks. Just eat your biscuit, Snarf. Don't look. They have got roughly the same amount of biscuits. Obviously, Orko's had a head start. He always gets the head start. He has to be fed first. At some point, I will tidy the shit from the room. Don't look over there. Nothing to see there. Isn't Stand-Up a trans mask thing? Yeah, I suppose I suppose there is a yeah, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, yeah, sometimes just sit down. It's easier to, you know, dick about with stuff on your phone then. You know, the endless doom scrolling. Or not, if you're a Mastodon now. No doom scrolling. You're phrasing. Hi. What are you doing? We got your little Pete's on cam. Look at those little Pete's. Snarf's got quite a few to do. Look at these little Pete's. Perfect little Pete's, aren't they? Just gonna see how, if I can just distract him, but I can look at this. Look, he's even doing like, is it plie? Who's done ballet? Who knows their ballet? Isn't that a ballet stance? Because this Pete is going that way and this Pete is going straight forward. So much for he's hovering. He's still hovering. Snarf's got 2 left. You got 1 left. Do not miss the men's toilets. Oof. Particularly like some pubs. Go on, Snarf. You got 1 more to get, mate. You got 1 more to get. Oh no, wait. Snarf had 2 more to get. I didn't see that one. Snarf, there's 1 more. Come on, Snarf, you can do it. No. Oh no. Oh no. There is 1 left. And there we go. Oh, Snarf. Snarf. No. He's absolutely fucked off somewhere there. Well done, Orko. You win. 28-19. The feud that never ends. Oh, you monster. There was only 1 in it as well. And I think Snarf could have had it. Snarf could have had it. Oh well. There you go. Lick the box, Orko. you lick the box, and I will see who's a boot for the raid. This point, Snarf. Well, no, like Snarf's won the past few. Look at him; he's almost up to 20. He's only like 9. There's only 9 difference between them. And that's because Orko got a lot of early leads when we had the chicken ones. He was catching up because he quite likes the cheese ones. Right. Thank you, Rick, for treating the lads. They love you for it. Need to alter the food spot. Maybe. I mean, maybe we could make it a real competition and put, like, 2 bowls down. We shall see. Anyway, let's see who's about for a raid. Good friends Emmy the Odd is doing some Stardew. Always a good time with Emmy. Stowe Hallett is doing Apico. I don't know what that is. But Stowe's put the thing on there. Look, Mum, I'm in the game. She actually in a game? Or bees. And he's throwing a couple of matches to spite us. Oh no, that's it. He's throwing the matches because Snarf knows professional wrestling. That's what it is. He's working you. You're being worked. He's working the crowd. I get to press the button.
We just might blow the whole planet up, you know. Everybody knows that Hulkamania is the strongest force in this universe.
Thanks, Hulk Hogan, you wacky racist. His own words. His own words. We could... Because they don't have many viewers. Mads. Inquisitor Meriden. Mads from Emmy the Odd's channel is playing something called Divinity Original Sin, which, if we've been doing Sins of the Fathers, maybe we need a bit of original sins. So, you know what? It makes for a change. Let's go see Mads, which is I've got to correctly type and spell Inquisitor Meridan. I knew I would do some typos there. There we go. Yes, that worked. Fantastic. Thanks for hanging out, folks. It's always lovely to spend time with you. We've got... I'm the one who's meant to do the typos, Ray! We got a raid message there. Ray has put it in chat because it's amazing. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, folks. It is always good to spend time with you. And I will be back on Friday, all things being equal, and we will continue the adventures of Gabriel Knight 20th anniversary, where hopefully we shall have fewer bad Irish accents. You've had a long day. I think a lot of people have had long days. I've had a long day of napping. You missed the drama. Got up at 2 a.m. to do the overtime, and then at 3:30 we cancelled the work that we were going to do. So got paid time and a half, 3 hours to do nothing. So then obviously went back to sleep, and yeah, it's just been a big nappy day today, basically. But when aren't Saturdays, to be honest? Long days indeed. Right, we're going to go and see Mads, and I will see you a lot around. You know where I am. I'm on the Discord. I'm not really on the Twitters, but I'm on the Mastodons, and we're going to go and see Mads. All right, I'll see you soon, my lovelies. Mwah, goodbye.